What's going on behind the scenes and off the microphone at the Magic Word podcast? Hear what listeners and guests are saying that isn't on the podcast this week on The Magic Whisper.
Hello, this is Scott Wells for The Magic Whisper. Here we are beginning 2025, a whole brand new year. We've had one that has just passed, and we've had just a delight having an opportunity to get out and see so many people here this year. I'm so thankful that I got to chat with so many of you on the podcast, and also to visit with you at conventions and at magic meetings and every place else in this great big magical world. It's been great. And we're going to talk just a little bit about that here in this week's Magic Whisper. Today, we're going to look back at magic conventions from 2024. We're also going to look forward toward a few magic conventions into 2025. Also, since it's the end of the year, we will list the names of those I'm aware of who had passed in the Magician's Valhalla. And then we'll have a clip from this week's Magic Word podcast that features Leah Orleans. Well, first of all, as we look back at the magic conventions I've attended this year, I had gone beginning the first of the year to Magi Fest, to Blackpool Magic Convention, and then to the 4F Convention, then on to the Magic Collectors Expo, Abbott's Get Together, Magic Live, Magic Texas, Magic at the Beach, and Tricks Convention. All total, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot of conventions. This year, I promised to cut back a little bit on conventions this year, but I found that the podcast episodes that I release are with the conventions reports are the ones that are most listened to by you, because it hits a cross section of everyone who is interested in magic conventions. This year, I plan to attend all of those again as well, and I'm going to be adding a few more on. Some I have attended in the past, some I have not, and I'm going to be adding the Winter Carnival this year because it's going to be the 50th and final. So that will be the last opportunity that Tom Borjahan is going to be producing that one, and so it's going to be great. You definitely want to go to that convention. I will be there. I've never been to an Abercorndabra that Steve Daly always puts together. I've heard nothing but just great things about that. I'm looking forward to registering for that convention. This year, I'm going to try to make it to Poe's Magic Conference, which is out in Baltimore, and then, of course, the TAOM. This last year was Magic Texas. This year, we're going back to the regular Texas Association of Magicians. So anyhow, I'm adding 3 more conventions this year than what I had done this last year. And that all kicks off very soon, getting ready for the Magi Fest, and then quickly sliding into Blackpool. Hoping to have an opportunity to chat with many of you while I'm over in Blackpool. I'm going to come over a little bit early, go to Liverpool, go and check out the Beatles tour area, and then afterwards going to fly from Manchester after Blackpool, going over to Kerry, over to Ireland. So if there are some Irish magicians who might like to get together, who live in Dublin or someplace in Southern Ireland, perhaps we might be able to get together. You can drop me a note, Scott, at themagicwordpodcast.com. We'll try to connect while I'm over there. During this past year, as every year, we have the passing of a lot of our friends in the magic community. This is a very close-knit community, and it's very difficult for us to let go of many of our friends who we hold so close to our hearts. And I am going to just show you the names here that I'm familiar with. This, of course, is not exhaustive by any means. It just lists a few of those who I knew, and some of who were on the podcast, some whose lives have touched me in different ways. And so I'm just going to be quiet for a minute and let you watch the names scroll through here. These names, again, are very important, and I'm sure that I have left out some that were close to you. If you wish to drop me a note, again, Scott at themagicwordpodcast.com, I'll be glad to include that in an upcoming whisper. So this way that make sure not to forget someone being honored who had passed, who had lived a magical life. But all of these people who are listed here certainly have been major contributors in one way or another to our community. Well, keeping it short here, this week we're going to be visiting with Leah Orleans. She is the daughter of Jan Rose and Danny Orleans. And Jan, as you may know, is the host for the Chicago Magic Lounge, and Danny Orleans is a trade show magician and children's show magician, and has invented a lot of creative and fun and funny ideas for children's entertainers. Great couple, and their progeny was Leah, and she has continued in the magic tradition, but a little bit different, in which she has actually gone into the allied arts of circus arts. And so she's busy like 10 out of 12 months traveling on cruise ships in different places around the world and going to Renaissance festivals. And the kinds of things she does is just pretty darn amazing. So she's a legacy mystifier, is what I would call her, because she does mystify. In fact, they're talking about conventions. She's going to be hosting one, which is coming up in March the 10th to the 12th in Las Vegas. It's called the Mystify Magic Festival, which is going to be unlike any other magic convention that I'm sure that you've ever attended. It's probably worth your time to go over to the website just to check that out. But she's going to be our guest this week, and I want you to hear just a short clip of what it was like growing up in her household and how they had taught her business that she's carried on into her life.
I think the biggest lesson that I got to take away from both of them and that household was how important it is to buckle down and learn how to love the process of creating a career just as much as you love the performance element, if you want this to be a real job.
Thank you, Leah, very much for being my guest on the Magic Word podcast. I'll just say that a little bit early then right now. You'll be hearing that coming up this coming Thursday at 9 o'clock a.m. That'll be released. That's on Central Time. I will actually be on the road. I'm going to, at that particular time, I'll be winging my way out to California. I'm on my way to South Lake Tahoe and have an opportunity to see my good friend, Mr. Alex Ramon. And Alex is one of the people who, by the way, at Magic Texas Convention this last year had qualified to go to FISM. So I'll be seeing his act there. I'm sure he's going to be brushing it up and putting some final polish on it during his shows that I'll probably see while I'm out in Tahoe. But he is going to be taking that over to tour in Italy for FISM here this year. So look forward to seeing him. So again, if you will just do me the favor of liking and sharing this video, share it with your friends, put it on your social media. If you would also give a 5-star comment for Magic Word Podcast, that helps our podcast grow. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. You know what to do, and it really helps us a lot. It's been a while since we've had some people actually do all of those things, and I know it's very busy, and perhaps this time of the year as we get ready for the new year, if you have just a little bit of time, then I would appreciate whatever you can do. So if you have anything that you want to have corrected here, or someone's additional name that should be added to the Valhalla list, or any other news you know of, please drop me a note, Scott at the Magic Word Podcast. And next week, while we are broadcasting from South Lake Tahoe, we will put it on that week's Magic Whisper.
Share the whisper with other magicians and join us next time on The Magic Whisper. The Magic Whisper is a division of the MagicWordPodcast.com.